It was a quiet Friday night in our home in a small town just outside Indianapolis. The week had been long, filled with school projects, work deadlines, and the usual hustle of family life. My daughter Sarah, only 9 years old at the time, had already brushed her teeth and climbed into her pajamas, while I finished folding laundry in the living room. The air outside carried the first chill of winter, and I remember the sound of the furnace kicking on, filling the house with warmth. Sarah had always been an observant child, the kind who noticed the smallest details. A picture frame moved slightly, a change in tone when I spoke, even when I was stressed but tried to hide it. That night, as I walked her upstairs to bed, she chattered about a book she was reading in class and how she wanted to write her own story someday. Her innocence always filled me with joy, though lately, I had been struggling inside with worries I kept to myself. We entered her room, the one with the pale purple walls and shelves stacked with stuffed animals. She crawled into bed, clutching her favorite teddy bear, while I pulled the blankets up around her shoulders. Just as I leaned over to kiss her forehead, she stopped me. Her little hand rested against my cheek, her eyes searching my face. "Mom," she whispered, "why have you been crying at night?" Her words froze me in place. My heart dropped as I stared at her, stunned. I hadn't realized she knew. I thought I had hidden it well. The quiet tears shed in the bathroom after everyone was asleep, the way I dabbed my eyes quickly before turning out the lights. But she had seen it, somehow, in the small ways children always notice. I sat down on the edge of her bed, my throat tightening. "Sarah," I said softly, "what makes you think I've been crying?" She looked at me with those big brown eyes, innocent yet piercing. "Sometimes when you tuck me in, I see your eyes are red. And last night, when I went to the bathroom, I heard you in your room. I heard you crying, Mom." I didn't know what to say. For a moment, silence filled the room, broken only by the faint hum of the furnace and the wind rattling softly against the window. I didn't want to burden her with adult problems, money struggles, long hours at work, and the constant pressure of trying to do everything for the family. But in that moment, I realized something. She didn't need to be shielded from the truth completely. She needed honesty in a way a child could understand. I brushed her hair back and sighed. "You're right, sweetheart. I've been crying sometimes. But not because of you, or Dad, or Michael. It's just sometimes being a grown-up feels really hard. I worry about things like bills and work. And sometimes I feel tired. But I promise you this. No matter how hard things get, I love you more than anything. You are my joy." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I don't want you to be sad, Mom. I want you to be happy." Her words broke me, but they also healed me in a strange way. I pulled her into my arms and held her tightly. "Oh, my sweet girl, you already make me happy. Just by being you. And talking to you right now makes me feel so much better." She sniffled and hugged me back. "Then you don't have to cry alone anymore. You can tell me when you're sad. I'll listen." Tears slipped down my cheeks, but this time they weren't only from sadness. They were from love. I realized in that moment that children don't need their parents to be perfect. They need them to be real, to show that emotions are part of life, and that love is what carries us through. That night, after Sarah drifted to sleep, I stayed in her room a little longer, watching her breathe peacefully. I thought about how close I had come to keeping my struggles locked inside, and how she had reminded me that vulnerability wasn't weakness, it was connection. The next day, I told James, my husband, about what happened. We sat at the kitchen table, sipping coffee, as I recounted Sarah's words. James reached across the table and took my hand. "She's growing up," he said quietly. "And she's showing us something important, that maybe we don't always have to put on a brave face. Maybe it's okay for the kids to know we feel things too." Later, even Michael, our 15-year-old son, picked up on the change. He wasn't as vocal as Sarah, but one evening he simply hugged me after dinner and said, "You're doing a good job, Mom." And I realized that maybe the best gift I could give my children wasn't pretending to have it all together. It was showing them that love and honesty mattered more than perfection. Over the months that followed, our home felt different. I still worried, of course. Life didn't magically get easier. But we began to talk more openly as a family. When Michael struggled with his grades, he admitted it instead of hiding it. When James felt overwhelmed at work, he shared it instead of bottling it up. And when Sarah had a rough day at school, she came straight to me, saying, "Remember, Mom? We don't have to hide when we're sad."